Hello, I'm Henny and welcome to my channel. We're back again with another Style With Me video. This week, we're looking at Mr. Jacq from Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. For this design, it's mainly about making cartoony and sculptural type of wig. This is something I haven't really shown before in my previous videos, so I hope that it will provide you with some insights on how to style something like this. Starting off, I'm using a 100cm dark purple wig and a 60cm periwinkle wig. I actually didn't need as much, but I decided to buy a full wig for the second one in case I run out of hair. Anyways, the wigs have been crimped to make them really puffy, then I've sectioned the hair into 4 parts and trimmed off the excess length. I'll keep this hair to use it later. If you're wondering why do I always buy such length when I'm gonna be cutting them short, it's because the color is only available in that length. So I rather have the right color and trim off the excess length. It's not going to waste though because I always use them to make the hairline, parting or adding volume to the wig itself. And any excess hair left, I usually would keep them in case I need it for future projects. Won't you say that it's pretty annoying to buy a whole new row of hair weft if I only need it for a tiny highlight? By the way, I have so many of these leftover hair stocked up that I probably need to clear off those that I might never use. It's a craft hoarder's problem. So here I'm just trimming the nape area and tapering the ends so that it will form a V shape. I'm using a hair straightener to heat the fibers and mold it to the shape I want it to be. For this part, I'm working with a few rows of weft each time to slowly build the layer. It's sort of like an undercut, so I have sectioned the hair up to where the tip of the ears are. And it's a little higher than what would be shown because later on the hair above will be covering parts of it. For Mr. Jaqq's hair, there will be mainly 3 layers of spiked hair. So I have divided the layers according to the design, then I'm sectioning the lowest layer first into 8 equal parts. To build spikes, it's important to first section out where each spike would go so that you can work more systematically. In a wig, the middle layers usually are thinner because the wefts are far apart compared to the top. And for spikes, you may need quite a lot of hair to create that cartoony fullness even after you've crimped it. So what I'm doing is dividing this section into 2, then I'm adding additional hair by doing a lark's head knot on the hair weft. I had to Google this, but apparently this is what it's actually called. And to do this, I like to use a crochet hook to pull the hair through. But you can use whatever that works best for you as long as the hair is knotted securely. And because it is synthetic hair, I will go in with a hot glue gun and a tiny bit of glue, and with the heat from it, it will shape it and also the glue would hold the hair in place much more securely. With the additional hair installed, now it's time to bring even more volume to the hair. I'm gonna tease the hair as much as possible, then heat it up with a hairdryer and this will make it really fuzzy. If you have watched my tutorial on crimping wigs, you would have seen this technique near the end of the video. If you haven't watched that video yet, you might want to check it out. I have dropped a lot of tips that may help you to elevate your wig styling skills. Although it is for beginners, I think having a solid foundation is really important, so I hope that I may be able to share some knowledge with you. Anyways, once I brush out the hair, it becomes poofy like cotton candy and it is ready to be styled into spikes. From here on, I'll section the hair into 3 parts: top, middle, and bottom. With the bottom layer first, gently tidy up flyaways with a steamer, then trim it down to the length needed. Next, I'm shaping the tips only with a hair straightener. After checking the shape of it, I'll fix it with some hairspray for now. I'll be doing the same with the middle layer, emphasizing a little more volume to keep it puffy and tapered towards the tip of the spikes. And the same goes for the top layer. Essentially, the top and bottom layers would be sandwiching the middle puffy layer, and then I will go in with a steamer to tidy up any flyaways. Making these spikes are actually very time consuming and takes much longer than natural looking styles. For me, I usually decide what approach I like to go for the wig depending on the character design and also what the client wants. Personally, I like to strike a balance and opt for semi-natural looks. While it is good to have a signature style, I think as a wig stylist, it is important to be versatile and be able to have different finishing to suit the design brief. Let's do a strength test to see how well these spikes hold up. I think they're looking good. Next, I'm adding some additional details onto the wig like this piece of periwinkle hair that sticks out in between the spikes. I'm applying some Yoo-hoo glue and placing it in between the wefts to hold it together. Here's how the wig looks with all 3 layers of spikes. Now moving on to the front, because the right side is in periwinkle and has an exposed forehead, I'm cutting away quite a lot of hair from the roots, then going back in by attaching periwinkle hair with hot glue. For this portion, I load up on the hair so that I don't have to tease it later while shaping it. There's so much of this hair anyway since I got a full wig for it. I also went in and added a hairline by carefully gluing hair to the front. It's not very visible here, but for this I have attached a layer of lace netting as base. Then for the rest of the hair, it's pretty much the same process for spiking minus the teasing part. Since there's already so much hair that's all crimped, it's already really poofy, so I just trim it to length, then thin out the tip of the spikes and shape them accordingly using hair straightener and steamer. Then hold it all in place with hairspray. By the way, once I was done with the wig, I did apply some glue on the tips of each spike to give it even more holding strength so that they may last longer. Mr. Jack has some fringe covering half of his forehead, so I'm trimming and shaping this bit too. Finally, adding on last piece of detail on the fringe. Just like how it was at the back, I'm adding a piece of hair in between with some glue. While waiting for the glue to dry, I tidy up any flyaways to give it a clean finishing. And lastly, shaping that piece of hair with a straightener and set it with some hairspray. One last check on all these wobbly pieces of hair and we're done! Here's the final look. I hope you were able to pick up some new info from this video. I also tried editing it in a different format this time round and keep the video vertical as most of you seem to be watching it on your phones. So having the toolbars at the side made the video really small and hard to look at the details up close. Let me know if you prefer it this way in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button, and if you want to watch more videos like this, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And with that, I'll see you soon. Happy wig styling!